Hey y'all, how you doing today? I hope everyone has had a wonderful Thanksgiving. Trying to put my gloves on. It's kind of cold out here. Not real cold. It's just kind of colder, cool. Not only that, I'm going to be working on my air compressor. My air compressor is starting to give me a little bit of trouble, and it's this this valve, this shutoff valve right here. This thing, it doesn't shut off like it's supposed to, which is scary. Um, so what I've got to do, see, what I've got to do is I've got to replace it. So what I'm going to do is first I'm going to drain the air out of this and out of the tank. There's a lot of water in there too because I haven't drained that in quite a while. And I thought I'd make a video about it and hopefully, give you all some background, a little bit of information there. I've got a couple of other projects in the works here as well. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to make a video lately because there's just been so much going on. Um, I think I've mentioned this in a couple of videos prior that I have started a new job, and I'm very happy that I have because it's been really good. It's been good for me. I think it's actually been good for my family as well. But um, yeah, so I'm going to be making a mess. This might get a little noisy. I'm just going to go ahead and warn you. So, yeah, you hear that? That's the water in this tank. I have, yeah, I'm shameful. I should have emptied this sooner. I haven't. That's the way it is. You just get busy, you forget. So, anyway, this drain valve down here is so um, just kind of spent. It's just kind of used up. And it's broken, so I have to take the whole entire valve out. I can't just open the valve. I have to take the entire valve out completely. But in order to drain off some air pressure, I'm going to go ahead and well, I was going to drain off some air pressure through my air hose, but it's acting like there's nothing there. So there may not be. But then again, there might be. So you need to approach this carefully. Oh. Uh-huh. Nothing's coming out. This is interesting. Unusual. I've never had this happen before. This is very unusual for me. There's absolutely nothing coming out. No water, no nothing. Really weird. There we go. Okay, had a bunch of crap there in the bottom of the tank that was holding things up. I'll let you see what's happening here. This is actually running through my wood floor down to a underneath. There is a concrete floor underneath. There's a there's a there's a concrete floor underneath, wood cellar or cellar down underneath the wood floor. I'll get it out here in a minute. Anyway, that's where the water's going to. It actually runs out and just runs behind the garage here. There's a low area in the ground out there where it will run out to. As you can see, quite a bit of water. A lot of water. So, anyway. So, next is this switch up here. I bought a new switch about a month ago. And I've just been kind of busy, but I've also been kind of dragging my heels a little bit too as well. So I've unplugged the cord. So next will be, I'm going to unhook this, and then I'm going to take it off the compressor and then hook up the new one. I guess first though is I'm going to make sure this new switch has the right amount of wire hookups and everything like that, because I don't want to be using it if it's not going to help me none. So here we go. I do apologize about the light. I do realize it is extremely bright, but it's evening sun and there's not a heck of a lot I can do about it. So okay. Oh, all right. Comes with some instructions, it looks like. But it looks like it's all very straightforward. It looks a little bit different than my old one, but I don't think it's going to be that hard to make it work. I do see something wrong right now. My gauges here on this compressor are completely not working correctly. So that's something that's going to have to be changed. I guess the tank is now done draining. So, but I'll let you have a look inside this here. Okay, see everything inside there? Isn't that very fancy? Anyway, yeah. So what I'm going to do is this will screw on to the, there's a large pipe, or a good sized pipe, coming out of the top of the compressor tank, and then this will go on that. This smaller one, let me get my fingers out of the way, the smaller one goes onto another pipe. It comes out of the top of the tank, and that smaller pipe goes on that. And what I'm going to try to do, there is like 4 wire hookups. This one, my old one, has 4, I think has 4 wire hookups as well. Yep, okay. All right, so it looks like there is some grounds in there, which that'll be nice. There's I'm going to move everything over here because I think the light is going to be way better. So give me just a minute here. Let's see. Will it move? God. go. Okay. Yeah, the sun, it's the evening, and the sun is setting, and it's like right over there, and it is really intensely bright, and it really just comes into that window right there really, really hard. So, I go over here and get all my bits and pieces I need. Now, if you're like me, yes, you saw my compressor. It's a tiny little thing, but you work with what you got. That's the way it is. Sure, you can sit here and dream about bigger, nicer, better air compressors that, will do a fantastic job and all of this, but let's just face facts. Money is always going to be tight when you're putting kids through school, especially when that school is called college. So, yep, that's me. So anyway, you just fix what you got. So that's what I'm going to do. Now, I probably could take this old switch apart and work on it, get it working better, and I could probably make it work just fine. The problem is, however, is that it's an old switch that's probably going to give me trouble at some point, and I don't want it to give me trouble. I want. The thing about it is, there comes a point where you have to say, okay, what am I going to work on and what am I not going to work on? You got to divvy up your time. You've only got so much. So that's what I'm talking about. Let's see. I'm going to need some other tools. Let me go get something else. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, my garage is an absolute mess right now. Like I said, things have been very, very busy here. Fall, for me, is a time of tremendous amount of work. Leaves have to be mulched, and I don't have like normal amount of leaves falling off trees. I have like, I own 3 acres here, and I've got like probably something like maybe an acre and a half to acre and 3/4 of yard that there's a lot of leaves falling off in that little span, that little small amount. I have several deciduous trees. So, with that in mind, I can't go and just, ignore the leaves, because the problem is if I ignore them, they just keep building up around the house and the buildings and stuff like that. And then before you know it, they're coming into your house. And I think when my kids were a little bitty, we were so very busy with them and work and everything else that we didn't have time to work the leaves. I didn't have time to work the leaves. I was doing it anytime I had a chance. And I remember there was like a Christmas Eve. I was on the ride mower working on the leaves. Some of them were actually frozen to the ground. So there you go. So yeah, I think one time they actually wound up in my dishwasher. Yeah, not fun. Not fun at all. I need to get a piece of tape. I need to get some tape. I need to start marking where the wires go on the old switch because I don't want to get crossed up there. I don't want to burn up the new switch. So, anyway. So let's see. It looks like I've got a wire. I've got 2 black wires. I've got 2 white wires. And it looks like I've got a green that runs down to a ground. So there we go. All right, so I'll let you see a little bit about what I'm doing here. Let me reposition this. Apologize. I know this channel isn't necessarily or normally about electrical work, but sometimes this sort of stuff is necessary because you gotta fix this stuff. You gotta keep it going because if you're gonna keep working on other projects, these things have got to work properly. So there's 1 white wire, and I'm going to take my marker, I'm going to write on the tape. Of course, I can look at the wire and I can see that it's white, but I'm going to make this mark for the switch itself. That way it will help me the other side. It looks like it's just all black wires. So I'm going to put a B, a piece of tape. Okay, so there we go. Now, all right, that's kind of nice. Now, so I've got my wires marked. I need to take my grounds loose. There we go. Are those, okay, I'll take those are looped eyelets. All right. You got 1 power cable coming in, and then you've got another smaller cable that goes to the motor itself, the electrical motor. So now if you're looking, this is one of those compressors that doesn't have a piston. They call it oilless. It's just got a diaphragm in there. I've heard a lot of people say a lot of bad stuff about them. This is the first amount of trouble I've actually had out of mine. So well, that was incredibly easy. Feeling like I'm going to have to reconfigure this line because where the new one, this line hooks up on the new switch versus the old one is very different. All right. Hopefully I can bend this and get it into the shape that I need to. So Now the next thing is I gotta get this thing off. Let's see here. I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and just take the whole entire piece out together. Now let's see here. They made that one tight. Make sure that one wasn't going to come loose. Okay. Alrighty. Okay. I see the first little bit of problem we're running into. This one has got this little pull up and blow off valve right there. You can bleed off some pressure. And then this one does not. So it's a minor little thing, but it's one of those little things that can trip everything up and make life a little bit more difficult if you're not careful. All right, so well, there it is. You ever have time where you lay something down, you're like, I know I had that. Where did I lay it down at? So I'm running into the first little bit of a problem. I think this will screw on here, but there's so much of this sticking up, I might have to trim some of this off. So that's what I'm going to do. Cut a little bit of this off and move on. Unfortunately though, I'm going to have to use like a hacksaw, which is not the smoothest tool in the world to cut this with. So, alright. Anyway. Okay. Come to an impasse. I'm going to have to, there's a lot of boring work that's going to be happening to make this all work with this. So I'm going to have to trim this down, make sure it works on this new switch. Then I got to wire the switch up. I've got to plumb it to this. Make sure this actually thread into that. It will. All right. Well, that's nice. So, anyway, there you go. So anyway, this will screw down onto that, which is great. but I've got to make this work with this. So, and then I got to get the wires hooked up, and I've got to probably bend this line in order to go to the top of the tank, because this comes out of the bottom. This one comes out of the bottom of the valve, whereas the old one came off the side of the valve like that. See? All right, so you see how it's, see what I'm talking about? All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to end this video, and I'm going to make a part 2. Okay, so I'm going to make a part 2 on this and show you the finished product. Okay? All right, thank you for watching, and got any questions, comments, or even some creative criticism, put them down below. Okay, appreciate all appreciate all you viewers, and God bless.